Okay, you can go ahead. Huh?
Okay. So my name is Jayprakash Mandaru. I'm also hearing the echo. I don't know what is the problem today. I have 16 years of IT experience as a DBA database architect, and then I have provided many corporate retail trainings in big data areas like Netezza and then Greenplum areas, and also have provided many corporate retail trainings in WDB to UDB as well. I have almost four plus years of experience, real-time experience in Greenplum area. So as a part of this training program, I provide this document. This is the document that I follow for throughout the entire training program. There are around 15 modules in this training. These topics are mainly for database administrators. So some topics are required even for developers as well. Apart from this document, I provide other 4 reference documents. Whenever you wish to refer if you are stuck with some issue, if you want to refer documents, so you can refer those documents. Also, I provide the software on Greenplum. It's 4.0, version 4.0. That is packed on VMware image. So only thing is you need to install VMware Workstation, and then you have to launch that software from VMware Workstation. So module 1. In the module 1, first module we will discuss about Greenplum architecture. So what all the components are involved in Greenplum? So what is meant by master segment? What is meant by data segment? Where the actual data will be stored in Greenplum database. So how to distribute across all the segments. When you create a table, you have to distribute the data across all the segments. And then in the architecture itself, we will discuss about what is meant by mirroring segment, how to configure mirroring segments, and then master mirroring, and then about the parallel data loading, how to load the data across all the segments for better performance. In detail, we will discuss about the distribution in second module, how to create a better distribution key in Greenplum database. So this has to be done at the time of creating the table only. So you have to choose better distribution key for optimal performance. If you do not distribute the data, so there will be skew issues. Some disks will have more data and some disks will have less data. So the segment which is having more data will have to work more as compared to the segment with having less amount of data. So that's the reason why you have to distribute the data evenly across all the segments. And also distribution, you have to choose distribution key based on the queries as well. So if you are, for example, in employee table, if you have distributed on employee ID, and then you are joining in department table also, you will have employee ID. So you are frequently joining employee.employee ID equal to department.employee ID. So if you do not distribute department table on employee ID, so there is a chance of having the same employee ID values on different segment. When you join employee.employee ID equal to department.employee ID, so there will be data has to move across the network from one segment to another segment. This happens when you do not distribute the department table on employee ID value. So for that reason, you will have to choose the queries also. So what kind of queries and then how the joins are happening. So if we are joining on the two columns should be of the same data type, and should be distributed on the same key, so that co-location will happen. That is called as co-location. Locating the relevant information of the joining columns on the same segment, that is called co-location. How co-location happens and all those things will be discussed in the second module. In the third module, we will talk about query processing, how the query will be processed when you submit a query on the master. So you will be connecting through master only. You will never be connecting to the segment host. You will always be connecting to the through master host only. How the query will be dispatched and how to see the query plans for and then what are the things to be looked in query plan. In the fourth module, we will discuss about access control and security. This is mainly security level, how to create different users, different roles, different groups, that is called role membership, how to provide the privileges to the users. You can provide at the user level or you can provide at the group level. And then there is something called, in Greenplum, there is something called time-based authentication. Time-based authentication is nothing but if you do not want to allow any users connecting to the Greenplum database so and so particular day, so you can deny the connection on that day. For example, you are executing backup every Saturday. You are executing backup, so I don't want any others user to disturb the backup utility that will be scheduled on every Saturday. So you can deny other users apart from the user which is running backup utility. You can deny other users not to connect to the Greenplum database on so and so day. For example, on Saturdays. Saturdays we will be running full backup. So that can be achieved using time-based authentication. So how to add time-based authentication, how to implement time-based authentication will be discussed in the module 4. And in module 5, we talk about configuring client authentication. For example, if you want to connect from different clients to the Greenplum database, what are the configuration parameters you need to update. So for example, it doesn't mean that if you create a user on OS and then provide the required privileges to that user to connect to the database, you will not be able to connect to the Greenplum database. That is not at all required. Apart from that, you will have to update some configuration files. You have to provide this user's information in the configuration file. So this is the user that is coming. You have to provide some details about that user in the configuration file to connect to the Greenplum database. It doesn't mean that if you have user ID created and then provide privileges, you will not be able to connect. Apart from that, you will have to update some configuration parameters, some configuration files, some files. So you have to update the details of that user, particular user, to connect to the Greenplum database. That will be discussed in module 5. So in module 6, we talk about accessing the database. Once authentication happens, how you can access the database. What are the parameters required you need to provide at the time of connecting to the Greenplum database. And also we talk about PG-admin 3. PG-admin 3 is like Oracle Enterprise Manager, which is available in Oracle environment. So similar to OEM, we have something called PG-admin 3. This is a GUI tool to perform DBA activities. This also this has to be downloaded from EMC site to connect to the Greenplum database. And also apart from the PG-admin 3, we talk about other third-party tools or client tools. And then we discuss about troubleshooting connection problems. If for some reason, if you are not able to connect to the Greenplum database, what could be the reason? It could be privilege issue. It could be that user information may not have been updated in the configuration file that we have discussed in 5th module. So if that information is not provided, not updated, that user's information is not updated, then you will not be able to connect to the Greenplum database. We see what kind of issues will be dumped in the error log file if that particular user is not able to connect. So in the seventh module, we talk about the different objects, creating different objects. So all these objects are more or less similar to Oracle environment. So except partitioning large table. So so this means partitioning large table is nothing but if you have a very huge table, you have to partition this table. For example, we are frequently accessing a particular report. I want the sales that have been happened so and so particular quarter. So if you partition by quarter, partition the data by quarter, the optimizer will scan only that particular table space, that particular quarter's table space. Instead of scanning the entire table, optimizer has to scan only that particular table space only, which is partition, so that the execution time will be reduced drastically if you partition the large table. This can be achieved by putting that quarterly data in a different table space, so that will be useful for rollout also. Roll in and roll out. Roll in is nothing but adding the table space to the partition data to the large table, and then rollout is nothing but detaching. So if, for example, if you want to roll out old data, so you can roll out very easily if you partition the table. In the module 8, we talk about DML operations. What all the different DML operations can be performed in Greenplum database. So we have something called as vacuuming the database. In the database system catalog table is, if you are updating so much of information, system catalog table will be, you might have to reorganize the catalog tables. That is something that is called vacuuming the database. So you might have to frequently vacuum the database. So how you can perform vacuuming the database in Greenplum database. And then here this deleting the rows is not hard delete, it's a soft delete. So still it will be there in the Greenplum database. That is called logically deleted records. For example, one particular table having 1 million records, and then if you delete half of the million records in that particular table, then still those records are existing physically. Only logically those records are deleted. If you say select star from that particular table, optimizer will have to scan all the 1 million records. So if you delete those logically deleted records, if you delete them permanently, the logically deleted records, after deleting, if you say select star from that particular table, it has to scan only half of the million records. So that means the execution time will become half. And also we discuss in detail about query plan. For any reason, for performance reason, if you want to see the query plan, so we can see what are the different ways to see the query plan. So and then what kind of messages will be dumped in the query plan. It could be a distribution issue, it could be statistical issue, it could be any other issue. It could be indexes problem. Indexes are not scanned, even the indexes existing. So it could be anything. So we have to see what could be the reason for bad performance. We'll see. Any questions so far? Hello. See, NG is the objective of this program is to become DBA. These topics are mainly for DBAs, database architects. As I said in the beginning, some of the modules might be required even for developers also. For example, if we take creating architecture, Greenplum architecture, and then data distribution. Even Greenplum architecture, data distribution, creating the tables, DML operations, loading and unloading data, all these things have to, even developers also should know all these topics. So this is, developers also require these modules, some of the modules. This is mainly for architecture and details. In the 9th module, we discuss about loading and unloading data. So what are the different ways to load and unloading data using GP load, GB HDFS protocol, and then copy method, and then using external table. All these things will be discussed in module 9. Okay. Naveen, echo is coming.
Jay. Hello. Jay, let me.
Hello, Naveen.
Yeah. Uma, I think Uma, can you just mute yourself, Uma? Okay, now it's fine, right?
Okay, so in the 10th module, I will explain about how to start and stop the Greenplum database. What are the different modes of stopping and starting the Greenplum database, and then how you can restart the Greenplum database. For example, in the maintenance mode, sometimes you might have to restart the Greenplum database after updating some configuration parameters. So under what circumstances you might have to restart the Greenplum databases will be discussed in this module. We'll also see what are the process when if you want to check status of the Greenplum, whether it's running or it's stop. So what all the processes uh, uh, will be there when you start a Greenplum database. So you will see what all the process will be there when you start a Greenplum database. Based on that, you can come to the conclusion that okay, this Greenplum database is already running, so I need not to start it again. So and in module 11 we talk about backup and restoring the databases. So what are the different ways to backup and restore databases? What is delta backup and full backup, and then how to restore delta backup, and then how to restore from full backup. From module 12 to 15, these topics are related to performance, so monitoring and performance. So what are the different ways to monitor for some any performance issues? So it could be performance issue, could be data distribution issue, it could be statistics issue, it could be design issue, it could be maintain issue, that is vacuuming the database or reindexing the database, or workload. Workload is nothing but managing workload. Workload is nothing in multi-user environment. If so many users are connecting to the Greenplum database, for example, for one particular user, you have to provide more resources as compared to other users. So for that purpose, you have to provide more hardware resources or segment resources to that particular user. This can be achieved using by providing workload management. For example, if you are running backup on Saturdays, so Saturdays I want to provide more resources to the user which is executing the backup. I don't want to allow, I have to give less resources to other users apart from backup. Yes, we have indexes in Greenplum. So routine reindexing. Also, what is meant by reindexing? So sometimes while loading huge amount of data into a particular table, a huge table, so it is advisable to drop the index on that particular table and then load it and then recreate the index. So that is the best practice to load on a particular table having indexes. So once you identify the performance issue, so how you can rectify? So just by seeing into the log messages or distribution skew issue, whether if the distribution has not been distributed properly, there could be skew issues, it could be statistics issues. So after identifying any of these reasons, performance reasons, so you might have to rectify that performance issue by creating proper distribution key or workload management or running the statistics or reindexing on a particular table, vacuuming the database, and all those things. So you will have to look into the different ways for the performance reason. This 12 to 15, these modules are more related monitoring and performance. This will be discussed in detail when we start those modules. I want to show the software also. This is the VMware workstation. From VMware workstation, you have to launch that file package, Greenplum Community Edition package. So power on first. After opening, say open existing VM. Once you open, power on this virtual machine. open a terminal, right click on the desktop, open terminal. You will be, by default you will be logged in as GP admin. So GP admin will have all the files are owned by GP admin. So if you can do anything, whatever you want to do, you can do using GP admin. So be careful with the GP admin user. Once you log into the console using GP admin user, you can start the database using GP start. Before that, we will check what is the status of just GP state. Any other process are running. I don't think there are no process running because we have not started GP. Once you log in, once you log in to the console using GP admin, you can start using GP start. GP start. So now GP has been started, Greenplum has been started. Now I want to check the status, so just issue GP state. So there are some process after starting Greenplum, there are some process running. So you can come to the conclusion that okay, GP is running. Once GP is started successfully, you can connect to the database using PSQL. PSQL will have some parameters. If you don't specify any of the parameters, it will be connecting to the template database. This is master database. So master database will have only catalog information. System tables. These are all the system tables. System table name, again what is the schema, whether it's a table or view, or who is the owner. If you want to see what all the databases created, just list the databases. So these are all the databases created in the current environment. So if you want to connect to any other, change the connection to different database. So I want to connect from template database to GP demo. Just say GP demo. So you'll be connecting. If you want to connect using different users, specify -u and then username. So I will be connecting to the GP demo using GP admin users. Now we are connected to GP demo database. So here there won't be any system table. This is a here there won't be any users tables /dt. There are no users table. Oh, some tables are there. I think in the previous template database there are no. In this master database, there are no users table. Only it contains Any questions? So once you are done with your work, just quit the database connection just by exit /q, and then once you are done, you have to start the Greenplum using GP start. Just check for any processor running or not in GP state utility. So there are no process running. Now exit from the prompt. Now once you exit from the prompt, you have to power off the shutdown Greenplum system. Any other questions? Okay, if you don't have any other questions, so then I want to wind up this session.
Thank you, Jay.
No, thank you, Elmer. Thank you, Rob. Naveen, how to save this recording?
Hello. Jay, automatically it gets stored in my documents folder. Huh?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Fine.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Fine.
Bye bye.
Bye.